Hello, it's Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts. It's Thursday. No, it's Friday. I only have one thing to show you. It's going to be a sort of short video today because I didn't get much done yesterday. If you watched yesterday's video, I had put up a little text thing about getting sick. I think I got glutened. After I had my lunch, I was having typical gluten reaction symptoms. And I had leftovers for lunch. I made that food. I know there wasn't any gluten in that food. So I don't know what happened. Maybe it was food poisoning, which I hope not because I made that food. Maybe it was a 6-hour stomach bug. I don't know. But I did not feel like doing anything all from lunch until dinner time. Dinner time rolls around. I put some gluten-free chicken fingers in the oven, chopped up some lettuce and tomatoes and cucumbers and black olives for my husband, and put on the mayo and said, here, it's a make your own chicken finger sub night. They were actually pretty good. Then I sat down on my chair to watch Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, and I was starting to feel just a little bit better. But the one thing that makes me lean towards it being a gluten reaction was gluten reaction. When I get glutened, there's also joint pain and brain fog. And I came back to the laptop. I was like, okay, I gotta do this. And I'm just staring at the computer screen like, what do I do? I don't, what am I supposed to do here? What was I doing? So I was like, okay, let's not mess with the laptop tonight. Let's just go out and play with yarn. So yesterday was a momentous occasion. Morgan at LA Crochet, I had to think, how does she say it? Graciously put up a free tutorial for her splooting Triceratops. Now, if you've watched any of her videos, like when she's talking about market prep, doing markets, she's always talking about her splooting Triceratops because the legs just sort of go bloop, and it's so cute. And I'm looking around my chair like, yeah, I've got some turquoise left over from the snail. And there's white right there on the crochet cart. Okay, you want to know how bad this was? Pretend that this is a knitting needle. The white yarn's on my crochet cart about 3 feet from me, so I can't reach over and get it. But with a knitting needle, I could like reach over, jab it, pick it up, and bring it over. I was just like, I'm so wiped out. I'm not getting out of my chair. I was having a great pity party last night. But that turned into triumph. I sat there. I kept pausing, watching, pausing, writing down, because I know I will make this again. I definitely will make this again. And I'll probably even come back here and look for some nice plush yarn to make it in. But last night, I was just like, I'm not leaving my chair. I'm just going to grab what I've got here and work with what I've got. Wait, do you see this? Here's Mr. Blue, my splooting Triceratops. I did add one extra little thing. I put a little bit blush under his cheeks. But I'm just like, he's so cute. Oh, I want to make more. I want to make like all different colors of him. So that was the extent of my accomplishments last night. I did get another Etsy order for a butter lamb. This morning I made the egg scrubby to go with it. But it's still just out of camera range right there, waiting to be packaged up and mailed out. One of these days, I will get back. I'll get my energy back. Hopefully by tomorrow. Usually it's only about 24 hours that I feel out of it, and then I sort of pick back up again. So I did pick out another freebie of the day for today. It's going to be a hippo. And yesterday, when I was showing you the snail that I was working on in medium purple, it's going to be a great gray hippo with that medium purple for the little dress. It's a free pattern from Amigurumi today. So that is my plan. Dinner is done. I tried a new recipe. It was good, but it didn't go over. It wasn't like, oh, this is so good, you have to make this again. It was teriyaki salmon bowls, where you put teriyaki salmon over a bed of rice, and you're supposed to put edamame, cucumbers, mango, and avocado around, and just have your little bowl. I didn't get edamame. I have sugar snap peas in the fridge, so I cut those up into little chunks and put those in there. It was okay, but it's not entering the notebook of regular recipes. It's like nah. It wasn't quite good enough to become a part of our regular meal rotation. But hey, considering how I was feeling yesterday, the fact that I put together a meal like that was progress. So, and this morning, I did get on my blog, and I updated my Freebie a Day Keeps the Boredom Away post. So I have links to the patterns. What's today? The 12th? Not that I'm going to be, 12th. So the first 11 days, there are links to all the patterns. There's still one I haven't gotten a picture of. The fuzzy bunny that I made went into the craft show stuff before I got a picture of him. And he's still in the craft show stuff someplace. And I do need to search my craft show stuff for 2 items for an Etsy order. So maybe tonight, if not tonight, definitely first thing tomorrow. Because by noon tomorrow, I'm going to have the 2 Etsy orders either out in our mailbox or get them to our post office. Got to go out tomorrow. I don't like waiting until, like, Etsy is saying I've got till, let's see, today's the 12th? They're saying I have to mail it by the 14th. The 14th is a Sunday. They're not thinking straight. So Etsy is saying that I do need to get these out in the mail, and the plan is to get them out tomorrow. So right now, my plan is to take my day planner out to my chair. I never even did my morning making up a to-do list and all that. I had typed up my shopping list yesterday. Typed it up in Excel with categories like milk is dairy, cantaloupe is produce, sugar is grocery. And then I sorted by category and then by the item. So I had a nice categorized list so I wouldn't miss anything. Well, I didn't get my gluten-free seasoned breadcrumbs because they were all out. But I have gluten-free plain breadcrumbs, and I've done it before where I Google what do you add to plain breadcrumbs to make them seasoned breadcrumbs, and I will do that if I need to make something with gluten-free seasoned breadcrumbs before I actually find them at the store. But I will take this out and get back to making my lists again. I was updating this a little bit this morning. Can you see that there's a bunch of red on there? Etsy order, Etsy order, Etsy order, Etsy order. 3 days in a row of Etsy orders. And within 1 week, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Etsy orders. Like, that's nice. Things are picking up. And 4 of the 6, 1, 2, 3, no, 3 of the 6 are butter lambs. 1 is a pattern, and then 2 are for other items. I think that adds up. If not, blame it on brain fog from being glutened. Yeah. Okay. I told you it was going to be short. Yeah. This is when I was like 22, 23 years old. I went to like JCPenney and got a professional. That was the pose. I was sitting there with my hand. Mm-hmm. I don't know what brought that up. Just like, oh, that looks familiar. That's like that picture that's on the mantle. My fancy white blouse with lace going down the sleeves. Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was many pounds ago. Okay, I'm going to go play with yarn, and I will edit this video, add a few links. Yes, for the YouTube tutorial for the Splooting Triceratops. One thing you've got to keep an eye on is making sure, like you do the bobble, the nose bobble. It's pretty low sew. I mean the legs are crocheted in as you go. You just have to sew on the tail and the frill. So the nose goes in pretty quickly in one of the first rows. So when you're doing, there's some rows that have half double crochets to sort of build things up here. You just have to make sure that your half double crochets are centered on that nose. And then when the horns go in, make sure they're centered with the nose. Make sure the eyes, everything is sort of centered on the nose. The nose is the focal point. Getting silly. I'm going to go play with yarn. Bye-bye.